Hello, Wendy here from the Spiritually Curious. I just wanted to jump online and share with you my rituals, practices that I go through for the full moon. So, today in the Southern Hemisphere, we are celebrating the strawberry moon. This is the last full moon for 2022, and this is a really great time to connect with your spirit guides, to set your intentions for the month ahead, and to just really connect with those kind of self-loving energies, intentions and affirmations around creating some self-love practices, and for connecting with your kind of like spirit guides and that kind of thing. So the first thing that I like to do is to energetically clear my space. So I've lit some incense and that is burning in the background. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my tinctures, because I've been really called towards using sound in different ways, and using sound to clear stagnant energies is really... I have my little Tibetan tinctures here. So I just drop one onto the other a couple of times, and this is my workspace. So this is where I'm going to be doing my ritual today. So this is just a really great way just to clear those energies. And once I've done that a few times, I'll just put those to the back. And then I have been into my crystal cabinet, and I have this piece of raw rose quartz, and I also have a rose quartz point. And rose quartz is a super healer, especially for bringing in loving energies towards yourself. It's a really powerful healing crystal. So if you've got any work to do around releasing negativity towards yourself, self-image or self-worth, then rose quartz is a really great crystal to have around you. The next is this beautiful hematoid tower. One of my favorites. I think it's the most beautiful stone, and this is great for balancing our emotions and assisting again in increasing our self-worth and self-esteem. So you can see a very similar theme going on here at the moment. And then my little pink opal generator. This is all about those gentle, loving energies, showing yourself some kindness, spiritual awakening. So definitely a crystal to have with you at this time, because this new full moon is all about being able to create with our guides a little bit easier. And my final little thing that I have today is I have this beautiful raspberry and strawberry iced tea that I have been brewing up in the background there. So I will be drinking that throughout the day, just as a little kind of mindful reminder that, you know, I'm focusing on the energies of the full moon, of connecting with my guides. So that's my practice for the beginning of the day. And next I'm going to do a full moon reading for myself. Now I'm actually going to do a 3-card full moon reading, and the reading is going to be around how I can just connect with my spirit guides, call into my spirit guides a little bit easier, and what's actually blocking me. So to do this reading, I'm going to use my tarot card, and my tarot cards of choice are the Lightseers Tarot by Chris Ann. This is a really beautiful deck, really modern imagery, really easy to read even if you're not an experienced tarot reader. Okay, so I use incense to cleanse my cards. And while I'm doing this, I'm usually just reciting to myself that I clear and release all negative energies, energies that are not mine, and call in my guides so they can communicate with me in a way that I understand and know that I am being guided for my highest good and the greatest good for all. I'll then shuffle the cards 3 times, and while I'm doing this, I'm actually holding in my mind my question. So the question for the first card that I'm going to draw is, what do I need to release in order to connect more freely with my guides? And the first card that comes up is the 5 of Swords. My next question is, what skills do I need to develop in order to be able to connect with my guides more easily, more authentically? And that is the Page of Swords. And my next question is, what message are my spirit guides trying to give to me right now? And that is the Page of Wands. So when I've done a reading, I just like to take a few moments, a few breaths, to look at the cards together, to next to each other, to see what I feel, to see what energies I'm getting, just to really get a sense of the messages that are being shared with me at this time. So this card, I get an energy of really just overthinking, being too much in your head. You know, there's things going on in the background, but you've got your eyes closed, you're facing away from that. And even though you've got the spiritual crow in your ear, you're really just too much in your head. And so the message for me here is, stop being in your head, get out into your body, ground with nature, and stop overthinking. The next card is what I need to develop. For me, it's to really go into that energy of spirituality. You can see that there's a lot going on in this card. She's reading, she's balancing on a pole, she's holding on to, all these ideas, and, she's got the wind whipping around her, and there's a lot of movement, a lot of energy in this card. And for me, it's just being able to tap in and tune into those energies and use all those tools that I already have at my disposal, that I already know that I can do. To be able to connect with my guides more freely. Everything I have is already within me, around me. I have all the tools I need. It's just remembering those tools when there is a lot going on. We are always connected to the divine. We're just not always willing to stop and listen and hear what the divine has to say. So for me, that's kind of like the overall message that I get from this card. And then lastly is, what message do my spirit guides have for me? Now, this card really to me looks like, it's a celebration. It's really light and bright and freeing, and just being in that energy of joy and just enjoying life and enjoying the connection that I already have. And just going with it and celebrating it. This to me is a really joyful, celebratory card. And that's the messages that I get intuitively when I pick up and I hold these cards and I look at them. So that was the cards that I got, and that's how they look in the reading. And then normally I would go and I would journal everything that I've just said. I would normally put in a journal so I can go back and reflect. And after that, I always like to go to the guidebook. And the reason why I like to refer to the guidebook is because sometimes there's messages in there that I've missed. And sometimes if I don't feel as though I've really connected or resonated with the cards, then the guidebook can sometimes offer you further insight. And the thing that I love about Chris Ann's card is, within the guidebook, at the end of each card meaning, there are these like affirmations or lessons. So for the first card, the Five of Swords, it's, the lessons move me ahead always. And then here you can see for the Page of Swords, it's, I learn and I expand my consciousness and open up new opportunities for my life. And for the Page of Wands, as the dreamer of my dream, I spontaneously and passionately ignite this flame. So what I would also do is I would probably copy down those affirmations, and I would, maybe on a post-it note, and I would put it on my computer or on the wall next to my altar, or whatever it is that I have going with me that day. And I would just keep those in mind for the day. Or if this is for a month or a week spread, then I would keep those affirmations with me for that period of time, whichever time it is that I'm going to be doing. So that's just a little bit of an insight into how I do my spreads, how I read my cards, and yeah, just how I get those messages from my higher self, from the universe. And it's a really beautiful process. And I know that there's still a lot of misconceptions, a lot of conversations I have with people around tarot cards, that you shouldn't buy your own deck, that you shouldn't do readings for yourself and all these kind of things. And I don't buy into any of that, to be quite honest. I love reading tarot for myself as much as I love reading it for other people. And, the messages that you get through can be really poignant. They can be really affirming. And, there is no such thing, I don't believe, as a negative reading. If there is something negative, then it's sometimes lessons that we need to learn or a challenge that we might be facing. And we can ask the cards for guidance of like, okay, so how do I surmount this challenge? And I think a lot of people forget as well that we have free will. Is that just that it's in the cards right now, right this second, doesn't mean it's always going to be like that. We can change things. We have that autonomy to be able to say, actually, no, that's not what my future is going to look like. I can change things. I can make a change. And that's what I'm going to do. So I hope that's helpful. That is my energy reading for this full moon, and I will be keeping those energies and those affirmations in mind for the next month. If this is something that you feel that you would like to explore more, then please reach out to me. I do online readings via Zoom, or if you live close to me in Western Sydney, then I'm happy to travel and we can arrange that. So I hope you found that helpful, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now.